actually, this is a little bit off top. This is off topic, but it's a good question to ask with that in mind. Based off of Kimimaru's feats, do you think Kimimaru is unaffected by shadow possession? Because he would just have the will. I mean, like, assume a Hokage Shikamaru, like, way stronger. The one that bound Kinshiki and Momoshiki. Because Kimimaro has the ability to break paralysis with his will, can he just move with shadow possession?
So this is in reference to the databook statement. Can you post it, by the way? That states because his diseased body was ravaging his body, or whatever, it's something like that. Like, he's moving sheerly, like, fully 100% on willpower. Can you post that in chat?
Did I send you that one the
You
other
did send
day?
it to
Or
me. Yeah, I think it's today. Yeah.
I sent you some.
It was earlier today. Let's go find it really quick.
I sent a bunch of random ones, so I gotta.
So I don't randomly
figure
show
out which
all our
one it
DMs
is,
on
then.
stream.
To server alert tomorrow was so great.
Yeah, I gotta figure out where it says that.
It was earlier today.
Kids out here.
I got strongest of the Kaguya clan.
People talk about it enough, but brainwashing in Naruto is such
disease-wrecked body moved by mental power alone. Okay, yeah, it's the strongest bloodline one.
So for this hypothetical to work, I think we just have to take this at face value and assume it is true. So assuming this is true, then can Kimimaro break paralysis based on this?
Shadow paralysis. I think being.
Well, I mean,
we've seen
this one says it's disease wrecked, but
disease racked body. It's moved by mental power alone.
But he's also stated.
The thing is, if you give, it depends on how strong Hokage Shikamaru is, because Tayuya with her curse mark was able to almost break out of his shadow possession.
Yeah, well,
yeah, that's why I said that. The point, yeah, obviously Kimimaro would just do the regular overpower shadow possession for that one. But what I'm trying to say is, let's just give, like, essentially, can he nullify shadow possession based off of his willpower?
Well, Kamui, this is perfect, because going back to something we were discussing earlier, is Kimimaro resistant to it, or is he immune to it?
In this case, he would... I think he's resistant to it, because I think he is slower and weakened by that body, even though his willpower is moving it. So I would say it's a resistance, probably.
Well,
so I think
I would say
potentially a breaking point that could be achieved, but it's got to be high.
I don't think his body is holding him back. Rather, it's his mind pushing him forward, because his body on its own cannot move at all. But, like, without the body, his mind can't move either.
Can he apply this willpower when his body's at full strength to just be, like, exponentially greater? Because... So if he's already just normally at above signing level, if his willpower is this strong, does he just become, like, Hagoromo level?
So here's the thing.
Imagine Kimimaro with nothing to lose.
I think this depends. This is really weird. Let me cook for a minute. This depends on whether or not shadow paralysis stops all momentum or just your ability to move. Because we know with, like, the Naruto and the Sasuke retrieval arc, before they meet up with the Sound 4, they're setting traps for them. Naruto's about to trip one of the tripwire. Shikamaru uses shadow paralysis when Naruto's already, like, his momentum's carried him forward. And, like, it doesn't make sense for Naruto to just stop in place the way he is. It's because of shadow paralysis that he does. So I'm questioning whether or not shadow paralysis, assuming it can just, like, exist in midair rather than having to be on the ground, can, like, shadow paralysis stop you mid-fall? It essentially flying, like, anchor you in midair?
I think there's two things to consider. One is the difference between shadow possession and shadow paralysis. The reason why I'm mentioning that one is shadow possession mimics the user's movements. Shadow paralysis seemingly only paralyzes the opponent.
Yeah.
So with the example with Naruto you mentioned, Shikamaru actually mimicked Naruto's position to stop him like that. And so if he had hypothetically, if he didn't do that, Naruto, I guess, I don't know what would happen. Shikamaru would either fling forward or Naruto would fling back dangerously or something. But
Well,
there's
that's the thing.
That said, if you just use shadow paralysis, it shouldn't matter.
There is a tensile strength to the shadow paralysis. When what's his face? What's Otsutsuki boy? Big one. Kinshiki. When Kinshiki breaks, when Kinshiki breaks Shikamaru's shadow paralysis, he's like dragged forward.
He doesn't.
He like falls forward. Like he's being pulled in that
Momoshiki
direction.
broke it by absorbing it. Momoshiki broke it by absorbing it. Kinshiki didn't do anything.
I thought Kinshiki. Maybe it's in the movie. I don't know. I have to go double check somewhere.
No, in the movie, Momoshiki absorbs it. Kinshiki was just bound, and then Momoshiki absorbed it off.
Okay, well, assuming that's true,
did
then
fall
sure.
forward when that happened.
Yeah, exactly. The point is he's still pulled forward, yes. Because it broke. Yeah. So it does have tensile strength.
Which is funny.
Which is interesting in this. That does play a factor. I wish Six was here. He would be able to know. Laws of physics or something.
Yeah, we can ask him this with the next time. I'm sure he'll come on again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other question then, I mean, the other one was going to be a paralysis genjutsu, like Tayuya's. Like, just say when Kabuto does it. Again, could Kimimaro just willpower his body to move despite remaining in the genjutsu?
So here's the thing. Do you think characters use chakra by moving? Because Kimimaro was using chakra in his fights. He wasn't just moving.
I was going to say,
no.
Because chakra's mental and physical energy, but can he use it?
So when they use, like, if you're just walking around, you're using stamina, not chakra.
Yes.
The difference is merely the blending of the physical and spiritual energy.
Yes.
So standard movement wouldn't require chakra. You could use chakra to amp it, but you don't need it.
No, I know that's not what I was getting at.
So what are you getting at?
Like, for example, if he like couldn't move, I don't know. Like Hagoromo doesn't have a physical body. Could Hagoromo use chakra to perform like ninjutsu? Like, he can give away his chakra for someone else to use it. But can Hagoromo himself?
Oh no, I mean he literally does. Like, he literally uses summoning jutsu. Summons Naruto and Sasuke back. He gets help, but he still uses a jutsu.
That's kind of weird because he uses Edo Tensei chakra. But yeah.
He also technically is the one who does the six-pack Chibaku Tensei in a sense.
Like, really, you could argue Hagoromo is like the catalyst for it, but it's like the Edo Tensei did do the summoning in a weird way.
Well, no, but my point is that basically Hagoromo used their chakra for him to do the summoning jutsu in a sense, because he gave his chakra away.
I agree.
But
I don't know.
The jutsu,
because that is what I just stated first, but I don't know. It might not actually be the case going back to it. Like, they are in the summoning circle. It's more than they just give their chakra to Hagoromo.
Yeah, but they're assisting. It's kind of I mean I know what you're saying, but like, it's assisting him. He's doing, like, he's making the hand sign and everything. Like, he also is the one who summoned them there somehow.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
How do they get there? That's still a question. That he did that.
Right.
What do you mean?
He used the.
Well, how do you think they got their souls there in the first place?
The Edo Tensei?
No, the dead Hokage that weren't Edo Tensei.
Oh, okay. Because you never said who they were, or he.
Help out.
You just said he summoned them there, as if I knew either.
The dead Hokage that weren't the Hokage.
Yeah.
The dead regular Kage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So I think he can use you. Like, so the problem is Hagoromo can't just appear anywhere and everywhere. He needed circumstances to manifest like that in the first place. So that's obviously why he's not gonna fight. And B, even then, like, his fighting, I don't know what. So hypothetically, if Hagoromo didn't give Naruto and Sasuke their powers, and he only popped out of Madara's body like that, like, what could he do? I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Because obviously
Could he have
Hagoromo doesn't
fought in
have
a reasonable way.
Hagoromo doesn't
Or-
have a physical body,
He may have been,
but he needs a physical body to tether himself to. Specifically like a Six Paths body.
Yes. So like with that in mind, you could imply a couple of things. A, taijutsu probably out the window because I imagine it'd be like Kamui where he just phases through things. So you could probably eliminate taijutsu. And it lets us assume he could do ninjutsu. I don't know if he can because I would say maybe he doesn't have physical energy, but then he can't exactly give Naruto physical energy chakra. So he probably had to have had that, but
So-
maybe he can't move from that spot though, because
This
he does
is-
just kind of float there the whole time.
I
Yeah,
think
he
so
does.
too. Yeah, I don't think he can move that from that spot. This is really funny. Do you think if Hagoromo had Kimimaro's tremendous mental power, could he have moved Madara's lower half?
I think Rock Lee has a bigger, he has a better willpower, low-key.
Then Kimimaro?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Kimimaro has the most in the entire
Yeah,
series.
Rock Lee was
No,
Rock, yeah,
no.
yeah. Rock Lee was literally unconscious and was still trying to fight.
Okay, and did Rock Lee run across like half the world and fight Kage level people in that state?
Yeah, what sounds
he
more
was
traumatic,
literally
being unconscious for a few
It's-
moments or having a disease-racked body? Kimimaro's
paralyzes
condition
you.
No.
was
So
worse.
we're talking about a literal unconscious body trying to fight. A literal.
Have you never sleepwalked?
Never.
Okay, but exactly.
Well, I've done
so,
it before, and I
That's
can tell
funny.
you right now, a lot of people have, especially as younger kids, and I can guarantee that is less impressive than if someone with paralyzed legs standing up and
Yeah,
walking
so-
and running.
wait,
So
wait,
Kamui, when you were
so his legs
sleepwalking,
were
was your
broken.
body
His legs
being
and
moved
arms
by
were broken.
mental power or something else? Because it probably wasn't mental power if you were unconscious and asleep.
Yeah, when you're
I'm just
asleep,
saying,
you're not
but
when you-
sleepwalking exists.
Exactly.
When you're asleep, you're not unconscious. Your brain's still working.
Okay, when
It's-
Rock
it's-
Lee
you're
got
just
up
in a state of
unconsciously,
rest.
when Rock Lee got up
but
unconsciously, he
prove
wasn't moving
that
his body through
Lee's
mental power.
unconsciousness is any different from standard sleepness.
Yeah,
He's not asleep. He's
you've
literally
already
he's literally
conceded.
knocked unconscious.
He's unconscious. He's not using mental power.
He's
He's
unconscious.
unconscious.
He's that's it's willpower that's moving his body.
Okay, that's
Not
not
mental
mental
He was
power.
actually unconscious. The guy was. Well, also, how can you? Guy could just be wrong about either
Exactly.
or.
Yeah. Like his
That's
eyes
nice.
were literally
Guy's
open.
not a reliable narrator here.
Yeah.
He's pretty reliable.
Why?
I like to think guys.
You like to think it? That's why he's reliable, because you like to think it. Okay.
He's giving me,
And I
no,
like
no,
to
he's giving
think
me no
Hidan's
reason to
still
think
alive.
he's
Doesn't
wrong.
mean he is.
He gives me no reason to believe otherwise. What does Guy lied about?
He's literally introduced as like a
Probably
loser
also
at the
things.
beginning.
Yeah. You can't. But that doesn't mean he lied about that. That's your preconceived notion.
No, that's countering your preconceived
You like to
notion
think
with a
no,
counter
no.
preconceived notion
No, you
as
like-
evidence why your preconceived notion
you
doesn't
like to think
mean
that he's-
anything. I didn't
No,
even
you
say
like to
I
think
thought he
that
was a
he's a
loser. I
loser,
said
but
the
he's not.
series introduced him as a loser. That's not giving my opinion. That's countering your presupposition.
The series did. So he's not a loser though. That's not him lying about it.
Sakura
What
literally.
makes him
That's
an
like the
unreliable
first
narrator?
thing we hear about him is Sakura calling him a loser.
What is Sakura calling him a loser make him an unreliable narrator?
The series is presenting
Because he
him
loses
as a
at
loser.
winning at narration.
He loses at winning it. So back to my point about Rock Lee. His literal legs and spine were crushed. Like Tsunade, the world's
Kimimaru's
greatest ninja.
whole body was paralyzed, not just part of it.
Bro, Rock Lee's
his
legs were
literal
shaking. He
bones-
could barely stand up. Kimimaro, at the end of having an entire fight, used a full-on jutsu, like his strongest jutsu, to blitz Gaara out of the ground to kill him. Like, imagine what the difference here is. Where Lee started, Kimimaro began. And like 10 times more impressively, instead of having shaky legs barely standing up and that's the end of it, Kimimaro then, with solid legs, ran to the battlefield to begin a fight. That's like if unconscious Lee left the tuning exams to go fight a huge centipede in the forest of death.
You think it's more impressive that let's say somebody who is in a wheelchair and literally has no use of their legs stands up, or do you think somebody who is literally a dead body gets up and starts walking? Which one's more impressive?
The dead body.
Okay.
That would be more descriptive. That's more descriptive of Kimimaro. His body is so diseased, bedridden that he's basically dead. Whereas Lee only has one broken leg, mind you. The other leg is fully functional and can just work. So you could argue that the broken leg didn't do anything. He just stood up on the good leg, and the broken leg just shaking because it's broken. Whereas Kimimaro's whole body is just poo-poo, but then he says, I want to move, and then he just does all this crazy stuff.
I want to move, I'm moving.
When we talk about inspirational themes, Kimimaro slams here because he proves to the world, Kimimaro proved he was a splendid ninja here. He proved to the world that even if you are bedridden with every single disease possible, you can do some awesome stuff.
Even with willpower, this is where Lee tapped out. Kimimaro's doing 10,000 push-ups, whereas Lee's doing 5,000. If this is the case.
Yeah, Lee tapped out at standing up. Kimimaro went above and beyond and did a fight. Many of them.
A run, then a fight.
Literal. He's Madara level guy had to walk up and tell Rock Lee, that's enough, and put him. He had to stop the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, is Madara omnipotent like Kimimaro?
Yeah, mind you, Kimimaro beat Gaara. It was life that beat Kimimaro. Gaara beat Lee, and Gaara would have beat unconsciously. Kimimaro was still more impressive regardless. And this was a stronger Gaara.
By a lot.
He was literally unconscious. I don't know. That's just the craziest thing to me is that his brain was not on. He was inactive.
All right, Momo, I want to ask you a different question. Whose bloodline do you think is stronger? Do you think Indra's bloodline, the Uchiha clan, or Kimimaru's bloodline? Which one do you think is a stronger bloodline?
That's the same bloodline.
No, it's not. The Kaguya clan's a different bloodline from the Uchiha clan.
All comes from the same place.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, sure, but that would apply to every clan.
No, it literally doesn't. It literally doesn't, because the Kaguya bloodline comes from one of the clans that it originated from one of the individuals not related to Hagoromo, who Hagoromo gave chakra through Ninshu. The Kaguya clan is not genetically related to the Otsutsuki. Well, because we hear which clans are from Hagoromo or Hamura's bloodline, and the Kaguya clan doesn't descend from it.
And the Kaguya clan is not mentioned. Yeah.
So
but the Kaguya clan's also never mentioned again, so theoretically it could have branched off anyway. I would say it's proof it didn't.
That's fine.
If they're not related to Kaguya, then how do they have Kaguya's bone ash taken?
Well, because again, they don't have the blood, but they have the chakra, which contains the genetic material anyways. So they got the Kekkei Genkai.
No, but I think it is from the blood though, because it's a bloodline trait.
Yeah, it's literally a Kekkei Genkai.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an inherited bloodline trait, so I do think it needs to stem from Kaguya in one way or another.
In that case, would you say it could have come from the
Kaguya was always thought of?
Or from the Divine Tree? From one of the people that was in the Infinite Tsukiyomi?
Wait, say that question again?
Yeah, so do you think it could have been something one of the people from inside the Infinite Tsukiyomi inherited before Kaguya released them? Do you think the normal people being inside Infinite Tsukiyomi changed them or altered them in any way? Because we know in time they become Zetsu.
No.
So in a little bit of time, do you think they gain anything at all?
That's a
they
good
would,
point.
if so, they would only gain Zetsu-like things, which the bones is not.
I mean, it could.
So I don't think it would lead towards the bone.
He is taking from the Infinite Tsukiyomi people, not giving to them.
That's a good point as well.
Actually, no, that's not necessarily true.
Either
That's
way,
really weird.
My question
Oh,
is the
okay.
bloodline of the Uchiha, specifically Indra's reincarnates, versus the bloodline of Kimimaro. Which do you think is stronger?
Which do I think is stronger? If you ask Orochimaru, it's gonna be Kimimaro.
But I'm asking you.
You're asking me? I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I'm gonna tell you Sasuke is by far. Oh,
Ooh,
then
You just
again,
said
I
Sasuke.
mean,
You didn't even say the
pull
whole
it up,
Well, how
plan.
would
Kamui.
you
Just
feel if
Sasuke.
Kishimoto disagreed with you?
Sasuke, just
But how would you
Post
feel
it.
if Kishimoto disagrees with you?
You
Did
said
you talk to
Kishimoto
Kishimoto?
disagrees? Oh,
Did
my
you have a
lord.
conversation with the brother about this?
We've
Yeah,
Well,
seen
I
his
mean,
words.
it's in chat here. Hold on, it's the top one. I sent a different one on accident after. It says at the beginning of that other message, the other one, sorry. I didn't need to post a different scan.
You mentioned earlier that
The very top, yes. If you look at the very top of that scan, Oodie. Oh my god, dude.
Did you post it?
Well,
Oh,
so
you
can
already
you
posted
get
it. My
to
bad.
one
The
picture?
strongest bloodline. And this is clearly not Sasuke.
even
they're
after
referencing.
Yeah, that's not how you spell
This is
Sasuke's
after
name.
Itachi's Tsukuyomi, by the way.
Then how did he get his ass whipped by Drunken Lee?
Because he had a
Martin.
disease
Because
ravaged
he was
body.
completely.
What? Say that
Again,
one more
this goes
time?
back to the
He
Asuma
has a
skill
disease
thing.
ravaged body.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kimimaro the most skilled.
Also, Kimimaro
Yeah,
wasn't even
right.
going all out at all either.
Yeah.
Who says? Says who? Says you.
The fact that he's not using his curse mark against Drunken Lee.
Exactly.
Did
The
you talk
fact
to
that
his
he
brother?
let Lee take his medicine. What do you mean? The
Bro,
fact that
was
he
not medicine.
he thought it was.
You know,
He just
I was gonna say something.
he just thought the brother wanted to take his last drink before he died.
Bro,
It wasn't no
honestly, I
medicine.
put
Yeah,
more
he let him
effort.
do that.
I put more effort into my football practices than Kimimaro put into that fight. Like, I had to hustle during football practice. Kimimaro was walking up to Lee. Walking in the middle of the fight.
Whoa, you played football, bro? You are so frail.
That makes me fast, though.
It makes you fast, but it
Not
also makes you prone
necessarily,
to
no.
injury. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
was
why I
faster than
was a position that wasn't on the
really
line.
thin people.
Like, I'm not going to be a fullback. I'm going to be a running back.
Bro, if you
Not a wide
got
receiver.
if you got cracked, I know your ass was on a stretcher a couple times playing football.
No, because I'm bouncy. So even if I fall down, I just bounce back up.
Anyways,
yeah. Sorry. Back on topic.
That's how it was.
Kimimaro just definitely wasn't going all out. Like the moment he just he wasn't even using the bone spikes in his chest. The moment he just did that, like Lee just like got cut and lost, and then he woke up from his drunkenness immediately. Like Kimimaro could have just had spikes surrounding his
crazy
whole body,
though. Like
but he
if
would
I
just
get
kick
drunk,
them.
if I get drunk, I can just make a little cut on my face and I'm good now. Like that's crazy.
Well, at least for Lee.
Yeah, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind, Kamui. This isn't just the fact that he's so unbelievably nerfed, probably the biggest nerf in the entire series, with his disease-racked body that is literally paralyzed. He was literally holding back otherwise, because Lee states when Gaara uses the sand to block Kimimaro's tail, that if Gaara didn't use his sand there, that tail would have one-shot killed Lee easily.
Lee is the biggest
nerf. So when you say the biggest nerf in the series, how do we know that
well, hang on, I just want to reiterate my point. It's not just healthy Kimimaro. Disease-racked deathbed Kimimaro still one-shots Lee.
Could Lee use any of the gates at that time? He could, right? So was he nerfed?
He used the first gate
against Kimimaro?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't.
I gotta watch that fight again. I'm only watching this fight over and over again.
He does imply that, like, you know, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to use the fifth gate right now, but like, you know, he'd probably just re-wreck his body after, to be honest, if he did do it.
Yeah.
But he does use the first gate. He says, if I only use the first gate, I should be fine. And he tries to use primary lotus, and then Kimimaro just catches it with his bone spikes in his chest. Yeah. And he's just like, unorthodox, isn't it? You know.
Well, see, the thing is, pregame.
What about the third one, though?
The thing is, pregame.
He got the dirt of the fruit
the
gate.
day before, the reason he couldn't go with them is because he was struggling to walk up a flight of stairs.
Oh yeah, he was
from his surgery.
Yeah, in the manga, it's the same day, which is another thing I want to bring up.
I remember
Lee
that.
went from being unable to walk upstairs to running across, the country and fighting. What did he do?
You guys, you're showing his willpower. He got a pretty good willpower. I don't know.
Bro, it's the
That's
power
not as
of
strong
youth.
as Kimimaro's.
It's the power of youth.
Well, okay, then Momo Jojo, is his willpower inconsistent? Why was his willpower so weak when he was trying to walk up that flight of stairs and couldn't the day before?
He finally found something to fight for, his ninja way. He saw Naruto and realized he needed that.
Yeah, he was fighting to get up that flight of stairs
Momo.
to prove he's a splinter ninja.
No, but here's the thing. Lee went from being able to walk with crutches upstairs to fighting, whereas Kimimaro went from being so weak he couldn't move to being stronger than Lee. He had a lower start point and a higher end point than Lee. That is clearly a feat in Kimimaro's willpower favor.
More than that, stronger than Gaara.
There's plenty. Let me spit real quick. Let me spit.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people in Naruto who have ninja aids. And Kimimaro is just one of them. Itachi had it, and what's his name from the Chunin exam had it. All these people.
Yeah, but I can prove to you Kimimaro's is a greater effect, but
Same.
I'll let you continue.
Yeah.
How do we know that Itachi also didn't have the same, side effects from his sickness?
Kimimaro's was 10 times worse.
Moving on pure willpower. So Itachi didn't die until he was ready to die, even though his illness had him basically. He was blind. He was barely able to. He was feeling like a million cells in his body when you use the Susanoo, like it's all burning and hurting you. Which I don't know. That's kind of. I don't know. I can't tell you.
So
what
here's the
Kimimaro's
thing.
feeling
Yeah.
with that.
Go ahead.
But here's the thing. Itachi went from stronger than signing level to still stronger than signing level. And Kimimaro went from way beyond signing level, beyond Itachi level, to weaker than Gaara. Well, not even weaker than Gaara, but like dying versus Gaara. That's a much bigger difference.
No, because let Itachi tell it. He's weaker than Jiraiya. They're greater than Orochimaru.
Well, hang on. Let me know.
Because Orochimaru is stronger than Jiraiya.
Let me know that Itachi's disease wasn't even that bad.
As
So-
far as you know, he
So
never really
his
talked about it.
medicine, which wasn't all that strong of a medicine, is the reason he had symptoms. The disease didn't give him the symptoms.
Yeah,
the
the
medicine did.
The medicine was fucking him up, but he was still sick. He was gonna die. The medicine was prolonging his death.
Okay, which medicine do you think was stronger? The one medicine from some random village made by normal people, or Orochimaru, the guy who experimented to make
And
new
Kabuto.
jutsu? And Kabuto, yeah.
Medical Jesus.
Literally second strongest
I think
medical
medical
ninja
Jesus
in the
over
world.
here has a better medicine that couldn't fix Kimimaro's.
Yeah, that is crazy that he literally was like, bro, there is no cure for this shit. You're gonna die.
Yeah, maybe he tried. But he wasn't
Like,
even. Was he around? He wasn't even dealing with Orochimaru at the time of the sickness, except for when it was in Akatsuki.
And we
He's
don't even
probably
know
too
if he
far
was sick
gone
or
by
not.
then. No, he was sick when he was with the Akatsuki.
Was he? Like
Yeah.
back when Orochimaru was there.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
If you
which
read the
crazy.
novel, you'll know you'll get the full perspective. Sasuke goes and he visits the people that was given the medicine to him, and they explain the story and stuff like that. So he definitely was sick during the
Oh.
Akatsuki.